Hi everybody, I'm Crosbie from Finch Chevrolet in London, Ontario, Canada, and you're watching Cars and Crosbie. I'm back. I took a little bit of a break. I needed to clear my head. I needed to check up from the neck up, and there's a lot of things that I need to share with you guys in the next few episodes. There's a lot of information and content that I've got that I want to pass along to you guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into a couple of episodes. I don't want to have these episodes getting too long. I myself don't watch any YouTube videos that are, anything over really a half an hour long, unless I'm going to have some popcorn or something to get me through it. And I just want to make sure that you guys can get all the information that I have, and we can do it in some more manageable amounts. So apologize for the wait, but here we go, guys. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, and the first episode's starting right now. All right, guys, I apologize for the wait in an episode. It was a long time between my last episode, and I'm gonna give you guys some explanation on what I was doing. I've never had a filter. I've always tried to, not cut corners and give you guys an upfront, unfiltered approach to anything that I do, whether it be in my private life or in my business life. And it's time to give you guys a kind of an update on a couple of things that are going on in my life. I'm very happy to announce that I, with my wife, I'm expecting our first child in May. And I couldn't be happier. I am so excited about this. This is a new era for me, and yeah, words can't describe how excited I am. She's well along, and one of the things that I did is I took a little bit of a break to clear my head and to get ready for this new era, this new me that's going to come around. I'm no longer going to be just Cars and Crosbie. I might be Cribs and Crosbie and do a couple of episodes with car seats and stuff like that. There's a lot of exciting things that I'm getting myself mentally prepared for before I no longer become the #1 priority with me and my wife. Someone else takes that. So as somebody that probably has a kid, they'll probably know a lot more about this. If you have any knowledge that you want to pass along to me in the comment section, please reach out. I'm always ears for learning new things about a new situation that I'll be dealing with for the rest of my life, and I'm very excited about that. Now, yes, I did take a little bit of a time off. I didn't anticipate to go radio silent during it, but once I got away, it really made sense for me to kind of desensitize from all social media in order to kind of get right to the roots of what I needed to do when I got back. And one of the things that I am very happy to also announce is that because of how many people are reaching out to me and how much business I have, I'm ready to start hiring on a team. I've got the blessings from the Finch Auto Group, and I'm very happy to say that, because that would mean that they would be employed by my employer and not being employed by some car salesman that just started up his company and doesn't have any other employees. So, we have a remarkable benefits program. We have a remarkable program that I started out as a lot boy on. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but 10 years ago, I started out cleaning cars, putting plate brackets on. Then I went into a position where I was learning to become a technician. I learned that it was more of a hobby instead of a career for me. I then went over and managed the Mercedes-Benz lot that we have in our auto group for a year and a half. And then I came back and put the sales hat on, and I haven't looked back since. Where I'm going with this is that there's a lot of amazing components to our auto group that makes it one of the best in Canada. And I'm very fortunate that right out of the gates of school, I was able to get in with Finch Chevrolet and not have to ever go to another dealership. I'm looking for someone that wants to get into the sales world. If you are interested in learning more about what I do and tagging along and being my assistant, but also my protege and partner in this operation, I'm now looking. Again, Finch Chevrolet would be your employer on this. I am looking at trying to get somebody that is involved in the sales component, but also the administrative side. If you're, specializing or skills are focused on one of those two areas, that's fine. I can focus on the other components of it while you do the others. But more importantly, I want you to understand that I'm going to be passing along a lot of information, and you'll be getting a front row seat on the bleachers to how my operation works. Last month is a perfect example of why I'm looking at hiring somebody on. I had over 20 deliveries in the month of February, which is normally not a busy month. And that's not to say that I can't handle it and I wasn't expected, but when it comes to a delivery with me, a Cars and Crosbie experience, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. When your vehicle arrives, if you've been waiting for over a year, it's all hands on deck. You are my number one priority, and it means that I'm going to be doing everything I can to make your experience as amazing as possible. I would say on average, it's about 12 hours of my time to get a delivery out. And when you have over 20 deliveries with that much time, you can see just the delivery component of getting the vehicles organized and ready and delivered can take quite a bit of my time. That's not even getting back to the people that are commenting on the YouTube channel, Instagram, or other social media networks, or reaching out to me in an email. And I don't think that that's fair to you guys. I really, more than anything, get a huge kick out of being able to connect with people that are not my client, are from a different country, and helping them out. I had just this week, when I was starting to go through some of the messages that I haven't got back to, saw messages from Indonesia, France, India, China. And it's just absolutely humbling to me to know that everybody out there that is learning about my vehicles that I sell is understanding that, you know, the world doesn't need to be a big, formidable place. It can be a really small, amazing community, especially if we have a like-minded passion in vehicles. And so I want to be able to spend more time with you guys and getting connected, especially when we're getting into the driving season. There's going to be some events that are going to come about, and I want to make sure that if you're a client of mine, that you're not being neglected because I'm reaching out to somebody that's viewing the channel. So I think that this is going to be a really big shift and change for the good in making sure that the Cars and Crosbie experience can get even better, and I can have someone that can help me out and maybe notifying me if someone's trying to get in touch with me about something that's urgent while I'm doing a delivery, instead of me neglecting them for a couple of days and then getting to my emails. So that to me is a very big change on the business front. And then on the personal front, I'm gonna become a dad, and I couldn't be happier. I'm really excited about this. So that is one of the reasons why I took some time off. I wanted to get a checkup from the neck up, get myself ready. I hadn't really taken any time off since my anniversary with my wife in September. I worked all through Christmas. I'm not looking for a sob story, but I'm just saying that I'm old enough to know when I'm gonna burn out, and I needed some time off. So I'm getting back to your emails. I was up till about 2 in the morning starting to respond back to people. Have no fear, I'm getting there. If you are in the works of trying to get a vehicle right now, I am going to give you guys some updates on that. I think we'll focus on that for now, and then I'm going to be pushing out a couple more episodes this week of some deliveries that I did earlier in the month, or in February. I guess we're now in March. In terms of delivery expectations, the number one thing that I want you guys to understand is that we are all in the same boat. Just as much as you are ordering a vehicle from me and you're expecting it and you're exciting and you're looking at your empty garage, or you're waiting for your vehicle because your lease is expiring on your previous SUV, I feel for you. That's one of the main reasons why I made this channel. And unfortunately, right now, the biggest thing that we're dealing with is the logistics of getting your vehicle to you. It's not so much an issue with getting your vehicle built as it was in previous years with the pandemic. Now it's physically getting it to you. And that to me is interesting because we haven't had to deal with that yet, but it also seems to me, just, you know, being naive, that would be the easy component. But when you start to understand more about the logistics, and that's where I'm going to come in, I'm going to be doing my best to do some investigative reporting on trying to figure out what's going on. For me, there's a lot of components to GM, and the logistics is something that I really don't know a lot about yet. And I can definitely tell you that there is some issues in terms of the expectations that General Motors is giving us and what we're passing on to the customer, and then the reality of the situation. Unfortunately, right now, when GM tells us an ETA on when something's going to arrive, it's not always accurate. And that to me is an issue that can be easily solved, because when you tell me something is going to arrive on the 23rd and then it doesn't arrive on the 23rd, I myself and the company GM starts to kind of lose some credibility in terms of what's going on with the delivery experience. And I'm very inept in terms of making sure that when you guys get an order in, that you get the best possible experience in terms of you know, having your car arrive in, the first impressions with your Corvette or Escalade or Yukon, Tahoe, Chevy Cruze, whatever it may be. And when you tell your friends and family, hey, I guess it's coming in on this day, or you get, you know, your expectations that it may be in fact coming in time for your 50th birthday or your anniversary, I feel for you when that doesn't happen. But I'm not trying to be cliche and saying don't shoot the messenger. Instead, I'm still GM's biggest fan, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. There's got to be a reason behind this. GM's not sitting there sniggering and laughing because they didn't get your car to you in time for your 50th anniversary. They're probably just as frustrated as I am, if not more. And what I'm trying to give you guys is a proper expectation of what to expect right now if your car is built and you're expecting it to come in and your salesperson gives you an ETA. I guess the main thing right now is hold tight and don't take the ETA too seriously, because just like with everything in life right now, some things change on the fly. We have a war going on. I'm not going to get into politics and stuff like that, but there's things that are changing our fuel prices right now and could very well change, you know, another component of the supply chain. I know for a fact that Ukraine is very big into lasers that are a component in microchip producers. So not to try to bring a bad omen on this, but there might be some supply chain shortages because of Ukraine being in a war. I'm not too sure about that, but where I'm going with this is that I'm on the case. I've got my detective hat on, and I'm going to help you guys out in giving you guys more info on what to expect in the near future, as everything else seems to be hunky-dory. Yes, we can't get rear media systems right now on full-size SUVs. Yes, there's some chip shortages that are making it so that your rear parking sensors on your Corvette or your heated seats on your truck are not installed at the delivery, but will be done in a retrofit at a later date. Those things we are kind of already aware of. This component we're not right now. So that's the main thing that I'm going to be using my skills and assets in trying to figure out. In terms of inventory, again, we're seeing a very broad amount of vehicles coming in terms of what trims and features and also which vehicles are here. I'm seeing, you know, a full spectrum of our lineup again coming through, which we haven't seen for well over 2 years. So if you are in the situation where your daughter or son or maybe a relative is looking for, you know, maybe a smaller vehicle that we haven't been producing on the regular, this is your time to start looking into getting into the research stage and placing an order in, as Equinoxes, XT4s, Malibus, Colorado Canyons. Those types of vehicles are now getting a lot more priority in terms of what chips and components and parts are going into them than before, where we were putting all of our stuff into the fancy pants vehicles. I apologize if you're looking for a full-size SUV or a Corvette. You're going to see a little bit of a lull in the time frame that you get, or the allotment that you get. That to me has been very apparent on the Corvette. I've got to walk on thin ice because I can't bite the hand that feeds, but I am still waiting for a significant amount of Corvettes that I've gotten previous years that I still have not gotten this year. I've heard from a lot of other people, even just reading some comments last night from some individuals, that even in the States and in Canada, there seems to be they're pushing back the ETAs that people have been given originally when they first put their deposits. So people that have had their deposit for over a year are now being told that they're going to be getting a 23 model year instead of a 22. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case with my clients as well. I hate to say it, but you know, there's got to be a reason for it. My estimation was that they were trying to get the southern states their Corvettes and sports cars while it was warm down there, and that in the spring you would be seeing a change for that. I'm hoping that's still the case, but we really don't have a lot more weeks of allotment left in the 22 model year for that theory of mine to pan out. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't like to make predictions on the page and create clickbait, because I don't want you guys to look at me as that type of individual that's going to spread gossip. I want you guys to look at me as a valuable friend in the industry that you can reach out to. So a lot of stuff to unpack on that. Let's get to some sunshine and rainbows and starting to talk about some of the stuff that I have had come through the pipes. And the first thing that I think we should do is a lot tour of all the new vehicles that I have in my inventory. I've been a busy bee in the used Corvette world, especially because I don't have a lot of new Corvettes coming in. And I've got myself a C7 Z06 that came in yesterday. I'm very excited. Some things that I had come in have already come and gone. I've sold 2 used C8s since we last did an episode that were here and then gone. But I do have some new C8s here and a couple that are almost time machines that I'm very excited to get across. So we got a mixed bag episode of lot inventory and then also some deliveries that I did in February. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks a lot. All right, almost all gone. This gross white crap here, I'm done with it. We've got a couple more days and that should be it. Knock on wood. This is knock on wood that's all gone. All right, inside here, we've got a lot of new things to show you. Old Faithful LS3 manual transmission, rear wheel drive coupe that has a removable top. On paper, have no idea why this is still here. Second one that I don't know why is still here, Watkins Glen Gray, one of the favorite colors. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. This is the color that I had when I had a C7. It's also in a coupe, and it also has a manual transmission. Really, really amazing combination, and in my opinion, what more can you ask for? It's a manual transmission. We don't even make them anymore. This one I got to get out of here. It's sold. And while we're over on this side, I want to just show you a couple of things that we have coming through the pipes. One of the Escalades that we did the Escalade V project on, this is the Vossen forged, hybrid forged set of wheels that we have on. This is an HF6-4 in the satin bronze finish. Then we have it in the gloss black right over here. These 2 are sold. I have 1 set available. And then I also have a split spoke set that we powder coated in black with an all season tire on here as well. So I have a lot of tires that I'm going to be starting to put together and maybe making like a little display of, as some of them are going to be getting ready to be put on for summer use and some of them are going to be for sale. So from now on, if you're looking at trying to find out what kind of wheel inventory I have, if you're local in the area, you can come in and see it for yourself, and we can even roll it over to the side and show you what it looks like on the Corvette or Escalade. Now, we've had this Grand Sport convertible for almost the whole winter now. It's very low kilometers. It's just under 10,000. We got that Jake Stinger logo on it. And I almost didn't even recognize when they put the Z06 in because of how close these 2 look. Check this out. You couldn't have asked for this. This is one of the cars that I brought in last year and that we sold to an individual. And then if you notice, there's a gap over there where we had our white 2LT non-Z51. That was a 2020 C8. It was over there. The individual traded it in and got this. He put only 2,000 kilometers on it, so it's still just under 10,000 kilometers like its Grand Sport sister over there. But this is a Z06. Now with this Z06, we've got the gloss black split spoke Z06 wheels on here. We've got, again, the Jake Stinger logo with a nice matte finish on here as well. All the accents are in black, including a transparent top. It's a 2LT, so it has a jet black interior. It's got a heads-up display, air-conditioned heated seats, Bose premium sound system, security system in there, front cameras for the front of the vehicle, and then it also has a stage 2 aero kit. Now a stage 2 aero kit is because it does not have a wicker bill in the center here, which would be adjustable, and it also does not have the canards that would be right here that would match up to the side spats. These are the stage 2 ones, which we call winglets, and they're removable. This is a full-length rocker panel in carbon flash metallic, which matches the mirrors, it matches the intakes. Here's a fun fact for you guys. Each of these intakes do separate things. This one here is for the transmission, and this one over here is for the limited slip differential. So depending on which side of your C7 you're on, it's gonna do different things. Now, I always try to show you rear vents. It comes to be a little trend in the car world when you're going over. This is a Z51, so it has working vents. On the convertibles, you'll notice that the vents are down below here that then go up, but on the base non-Z51s, the vents are fake. These are the only fake vents on any Corvette. There's a piece of plastic back there because it doesn't have the upgraded cooling to the transmission, and it also does not come with a limited slip differential when you buy a non-Z51. And that's the same for on a C8, but they don't have the vents in that area for you to do that. So little fun Easter egg, if you've got a Z51 and above, the vents do different things depending on which side, and they are functional. On the non-Z51s, shame on GM, they're fake vents. Now, a cool little thing that I've done in the past, and I did it on my C8, for example, is I purchased these, which are the intake scoops from a Z06 or a Grand Sport, and I changed them on my Z51 so that it did have those scoops to give it that Z06 Grand Sport look. I also went a step further with my C8 and took this front grille, which will obviously remove that Finch Chevrolet plate bracket and everything once you get it, especially if you live in an area that doesn't need a front plate. And I changed it from this one. I'm gonna say it once. Once I say it, you'll never get it out of your head. Does this not look like a set of braces on your Corvette? That is the reason why I changed it, because once you say that it's a brace face, it's never the same. So easy upgrade, about $800 or $900 to do this if you have the camera system. If you don't, I think it's 120 bucks less. If you want to upgrade your C7 to have the Grand Sport look, this one was about 300 bucks to do. There's T15 screws that are in here that you can take out, and then you can do the install to swap that out to give it the more aggressive look. Now, a playback, a reunion, a time capsule. This one right here, we had on the channel and we sold originally, and it's happy for us, it's back here. Sad for the customer, I apologize I had to take it away from you, but we are very happy to have it back. This is a 2LT Z51 Coupe in rapid blue with a transparent top, and all the accents are done in carbon flash metallic. We've got a used car guarantee. There you go, screen capture if you want to know what our guarantee is. And we've got the front splitter done from ACS. It has the base wheels. It's just asking for a set of upgraded wheels, maybe a set of Austins to go on it. It also is just asking for a set of rocker panels to go with all the other black accents on it. And that's one of the things that we do when we list vehicles here on the used lot. You'll notice that on all of these things, there are some things that I blatantly point out that you can do, but I don't want to touch it in any way until you tell me what you're looking at doing with your potential new vehicle. Let's say that you buy this, then we sit down just like if it was coming off the truck, and we go through the whole experience of what you're trying to do to the vehicle. We can help you out in getting some accessories put on, or if you're just wanting to focus on purchasing the vehicle now and then doing some things at a later date, I'm all game for that. That's one of the best things about buying a Corvette, is that you can always reinvent that fun, exciting delivery or ownership experience by researching and finding new accessories to go on your vehicle. I've got my Camaro row over here. You'll see that this has a satin black hood on it, that this is a 1LE variant. I wish that these are 1LE variants, but the next best thing is a ZL1. I have one ZL1 right now, and I'm happy to have even one because these are rare birds. They only made about 200 to 300 for Canada a year. You know, our dealership alone, I think we got maybe 3 in the best year that we ever had. And to me, anytime that I can have a ZL1, the amount of horsepower in this is wild. It's 10 horsepower less than the Z06, but it's still more horsepower than even the C8, which is a wild thing to consider. We're gonna have to get this out of here eventually because we need more space for Corvettes. Let's go out to the lot and see if there's anything out there that's worth showing. While I was away, it was 14 degrees out, all the snow and melt. The day we get back, this stuff, oh my God, it grinds my gears. Okay, so vehicles are landing quite aggressively right now. One of the things that I'm always talking about is the foresight of what's happening in the future. Because when you place an order with me, or if I say that your allotment is coming up, that means that it's going to be about a 2 to 3 month process until it arrives. So all these vehicles that we have landing right now are all vehicles that we were placing in the late fall, or October, November, December area. So that was really a very aggressive time for allotment. And we're seeing that right now. Unfortunately, in terms of allotment, I would say that we're getting half of what we used to get before this pre-COVID era became. And what I mean by that is that, on average, we were getting about 45 to 55 vehicles every week. And right now we're averaging about 25 to 30 vehicles on a good week. So we're half of what we used to be at. I wish it was better news, but I got to make the best of it. So all of these vehicles that are arriving here, they don't stay that long. All these things here are either used components that are either going to the States to be exported, we're freewheeling them back, or they're up for grabs. So there is our used lot, and then these are all vehicles that are landed. This is a really cool color that I'm surprised more people don't buy. There's a lot of Toyota Tundras and Tacomas that are in a similar color to this that are on a TRD. This is Desert Sand Metallic. I have a new generation truck in Desert Sand Metallic that's coming in that's still not sold, which I'm really excited about. It's a Trail Boss crew cab in the Desert Sand Metallic. I think it's gonna look like one of Erwin Rommel's tanks from World War II in the North African campaign. Maybe that'll be, I don't think that it'll ever go back into war, but that's a weird topic to bring up on the channel. Anyways, let's go through some other vehicles. We got the CT5s that arrived in yesterday. I had 4 CT5s that came in. This is actually up for grabs. This is the only truck that I have for sale right now, and I have no idea why it's still here. I feel like while I was gone, maybe a deal fell through. Maybe they did a background check and found out it was an exporter. But this is a High Country Deluxe, which means it has the cool things like the power running board that if you press this button, it's gonna move and articulate out so that you can get into the back bed here. Because on the half tons, we don't have that step up like we do on the full 1 ton and 3/4 tons. Cool black Silverado badging, High Country spray and bed liner in here, rear sliding window. All the fun components are in this one. I think this is a doozy. This is a $78,000 price point High Country Deluxe. And with fuel prices going up, this might actually be a blessing in disguise because it has only a 5.3 V8 instead of the 6.2. I still think that the diesel engine is the way to go. I think that you're going to be able to get away with not having to worry about these things becoming public enemy #1 in the government's eyes and people's eyes anytime too soon. So if you think that you're going to get penalized for purchasing a diesel engine, I don't think that that's something you need to be worried about. I'll put my name on that because the fuel savings and the longevity of these engines alone is going to be a reason why you'd want to hold on to it and get your fuel savings costs up front and not have to worry about a potential threat that you may get a lower resale value than a 6.2 version. I just don't think it's going to be an issue. The inline 3 that we have is remarkable. I absolutely love it. I look like a hypocrite because the next vehicle I have coming in is gas, even though I'm pedaling the diesels. And I'm doing that because I'm crazy in the head and I like performance. And with this diesel, it's great. There's a lot of torque, but I want to hear kind of a Corvette style sound coming out of my new vehicle that'll be here any day. And yeah, also on a side note, I'm sad to say that I will be getting rid of HMS Cars in Crosbie. So if you guys are interested in the States at looking at getting an Escalade, may be a good idea for you guys because with the exchange rate, I can basically sell you the vehicle at my retail cost and it's still going to be a bargain for you guys because as of right now, the dollar is at about $1.27. So you're interested in looking at getting an Escalade, not wanting to wait any longer for one, mine's available. I think that's enough for one episode. I've gone through a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. We got a lot of content that I've filmed over the last few weeks that I'm going to be putting on the channel in some few new episodes. Until then, stay tuned for more awesome content and happy motoring, guys.